All right, so we've got a video here on systems of equations. I'm going to walk you through a few different ways. Again, we're looking at systems, oops, these are actually linear equations. So really important that you understand this is a linear equation here. So if I look at this, I've got this. Anytime you have more than one more than one equation with the same variables, they call that a system. So that's why this is a system, and it's linear because there's no powers higher than one here. So if I was to graph this, this would be a line. If I was to put it in y equals mx plus b, it'd be a line. That's why they call it a linear equation. So a system means more than one equation. And so you guys went over these a ton last year. Let me give you a quick reminder of what you guys did last year with this. So you guys did some elimination. And when you did elimination, you looked at this system and said, okay, I need to eliminate either the x or the y. And in this case, it doesn't really matter, but what I need to do is times this bottom one. I'm going to times the whole thing by 2, because what that does is it makes this negative 4x, and then negative 12y equals 44. So I'm going to use that equation instead of the one I just had there. And then I'm going to eliminate by adding or subtracting straight down. In this case, I'm just going to add straight down. When I do that, I have negative 4x plus negative 4x, which gives me negative 8x. And then notice what happens to the y's. I've got 12y plus negative 12y, or plus negative 12y, which gives me 0y. So it eliminates that value. And then I have this equal to negative 4 plus 44, which gives me 40. And then I just have this nice equation with just one variable. That's why we're eliminating. From there, I can solve this, though. I just divide by negative 8, and I get x equals negative 5. And so what I'm trying to do whenever I solve these, I want to know what x and y values can go in there that makes both equations correct. Again, when I'm solving these, so I'm solving my system, I want to know what x value and what y value can go in to both equations to make it correct. So I know x is negative 5. I do need to find out what y is equal to. To do that, I'm just going to plug in negative 5 to one of the equations, and it doesn't really matter which one, but I'm going to plug it in for x. So if I take the top one, I'm going to go negative 4 times negative 5 plus 12y minus or equals negative 4. And so then I can just solve for y because I only have one variable. So I've got this value here, which is going to give me 20. And then I solve this by minusing the 20 like we did with solving simple equations. So I minus the 20 and I get 12y equals negative 24. And then I divide by 12 and I get y equals negative 2. So those are my two values that would give me that. That's elimination, okay? You guys also went over substitution. So let me show you this one. So substitution is a method. You could use elimination on this one, but this is just another way to solve our system of equations here. So I'm trying to solve this system of equations. So what I want to do in substitution, instead of timesing one or the other so that I have the same coefficients, I had to times this one by 2 because I needed this to be a 12 matching there, and 6 times 2 gives me 12. But in substitution, what I want to do is get one of the variables by itself. So if I look at this bottom one, this one's nice because all I have to do is minus this 2x over, and y will be by itself. So this would be y equals negative 2x plus 12 instead of this equation right here. And why I'm doing that is now I can just take this y that's in the top one and replace it with this negative 2x plus 12. So I'd have 6x minus 2 times negative 2 plus 12. So instead of writing that y there, I'm writing the negative 2x plus 12. And then that's all equal to negative 4 in this case. And then I've just got one variable. I've got an x here, so I can solve for that variable now. I've got to distribute this first with my multiplication. This gives me 4x minus 24. And then I have the 6x here that I'm going to drop down and the negative 4 here. 6x and 4x gives me 10x. Add 24 to both sides, and that would give me equals 20, and then divide by 10, and that would give me x equals 2. So now I have x. The only way to get y is, again, to plug it in. And I'm going to plug it into this one because I already have y equals. So I'd have y equals negative 2 times 2 plus 12. I just substitute that 2 in for the x. So this gives me negative 4 here, plus 12. And then I have that equal to 8. And so y is equal to 8. Okay? So you can do it that way. I'm going to show you another way to do it. We're going to use what we call matrices with this. And you guys did some stuff with matrices. We're going to use our calculators for this. Again, what a matrice is again, it's just a string of numbers within those brackets. But for example, if I looked, let's just look at this system right here in the blue here. And if I wanted to write a matrix for that, all I do is I've got my x's in a row, my y's, and then whatever it's equal to it. It is important that those are all in a column. I'm going to get rid of the x's and y's and the equal signs, just write my matrix. So I've got 9, negative 2, 24, negative 3, negative 8, and then 18 here. And then I put these brackets around because that tells me that this is a matrix. Okay? So I know some of you guys are probably groaning like, oh, I didn't like these, but what I want to do is I want to change this. What I can do is I can add and subtract and multiply this matrix to manipulate it a little bit, like by scale factors. It's a lot of mathematical terms. What you really need to know is what we want to do is get it down so that this is a 1, 0, and then some entry here, and then 0, 1, and some entry here is what we're going to do. And instead of being really tedious and doing this all by hand, we're actually going to use our calculators for this. And you can use one at home. If you look up, like if you have a graphing one at home, you can use that as well for that. And so I'm going to show you how to use this. And then there are online ones that I'm sure that you could probably find, and I'll show you what to do with those in just a minute. But let me just show you really quick what we've got here with using our calculators here. So, all right, so here we go. So what we want to do is on this calculator, I've got to use to change it from this type of matrix to the 1, 0, 0, 1. I actually need to use a program, and these calculators, and if you have an online one, are all programmed to do this. So that program is called RREF. It's called Reduced Row Echelon Form. Don't worry about the wording. It's not important. But what it is it's telling the calculator the right program to use. So we hit second x to the negative 1, and then I scroll to the right 1, and then I'm going to arrow up, and then option B right here. See that RREF? Please be careful, don't use the REF. It's RREF. And then I'm going to use my quick, there's a shortcut to the matrix. I go alpha, so this green key, zoom, and it brings up this program here, and it says the rows and the columns. Right now it's set for 2 by 3, which is what we want, guys. If you guys remember, and I'm going to remind you right now, it's always rows this way and then columns up and down. So rows side to side. So I've got 2 rows, and I've got 1, 2, 3 columns. So when I go to put that in, I want a 2 by 3. Again, if you need to change it, see how it's on the 6 right now, I'd put that little box and hit enter. Like that, see how it changes it. That would give me a 5 by 3, which we don't want. Okay, so I'm going to go again 2 by 3, and then we just go down here to OK. And then I just have to put my matrix in, and I'm just going to put that same one, the 9, -2, 24, -3, -8, and 18 in there. Okay, so we'll go 9. We'll go what we got here? -2, and then I've got 24, and then I've got -3. -8 and 18, and I just hit enter from that, and it, see how it gives me that 1001, and then I've got the 2 and the -3 here. So those 2 and -3 are quite important here, guys. This is 2, and then I've got -3 here, so that's a 3. What that's telling me is if I went from this system with the x and the y's to no x's and y's. If I put the x's and y's back in here, that would be 1x plus 0y equals 2. And this would be 0x plus 1y equals -3. Which essentially, I don't need to put 0y and 0x. That would just be x equals 2 and y equals -3 is what that's doing in that case. And that gives me my solution. I don't have to sit here and worry about doing substitution or elimination. That would be my, I would encourage you to do that. So use the calculator. Again, online, if you type in RREF calculator, you'll probably be able to find one. Okay. So let's just do this one here. So I'm going to first, again, I want to RREF the matrix, so I've got to get rid of my value. So I go -4 here, I go 12 here, and I go -4 here, and then I'm going to go -2. I don't want my variables again. -6, and then 22 for this one. And then I'm just going to go grab my calculator. Let's actually see if we can find a calculator. So RREF. Calculator. This one right here looks really good actually. Let's just type that, put that one in there. And so it's, see, this is an RREF, and so it's going to ask us for the rows and columns. Again, we want, this is if you didn't need one at home, we want 2 by 3. It's going to create the matrix here, and then I'm going to put this in there. I'm going to go -4, 12, -4. So -4, 12, -4. It is important that it is in that order. And then I'm going to go -2, -6, 22. So -2, -6, and 22. And then we're just going to hit calculate and see how it reduces it. 1, 0, 0, 1, -5, and -2. So x is -5, y is -2. Of course, we already knew that because we did elimination, but did the exact same thing. Again, if you're using one of these calculators, we hit second, x to the -1, arrow to math, so right, and then up arrow to option B. And then we go alpha zoom, go a 2 by 3, and then we just, again, put that same matrix in there, the -4. I forgot what it is, -4, 12, -4, -2, what was that, -6, yep, so -6, and 22. Again, we're going to hit, whoops, we got to go back over here, -6, how about that? And then hit enter, and gives us the exact same thing. So you can either do it here, or again, there's one online that you can use right there that'll give you that, okay? Guys, you can do this with your story problems. You can you know, if you have a story problem, you just simply have to make sure you have a system of equation before you go with this. So like first day of ticket sales for sold one adult and six students. So I would go like the X would be the adult tickets and the student tickets would be Y. So this would be 1X plus 6Y equals 63. And then the second day they took in 91 and sold 5 adults. And so this would be 5X plus 2Y equals 91. And then you can do your RREF with that. Okay. If you have more than one variable, you can actually, I mean, this would just be an REF, but you do 3 columns by 4 rows, and then that would give you A, B, and C would be your answer, just like we have with our values here, X and Y. Okay. All right, that's systems equations. I think it's a lot easier to use your calculator than to substitute elimination, or at least a lot quicker. I shouldn't say easier, quicker. So, alrighty, this has been it. Math Moment, Mommy, adios.